Hello, Mason Manatee 5th graders, our distance learners at home. This is our next project, or our very first project this year. It is an optical illusion art project. Now, an optical illusion is just that. It's something that tricks the eye. We took a flat piece of paper and put a series of lines and shapes on this paper in such a way that it looks like this paper goes way back into the distance. It looks like these spheres are coming out towards us, and we did that by tricking the eye by using lines. So I'm going to talk to you about a few components of this. The first component of this optical illusion art is that there's a focal point. The focal point is the one point in the artwork that your eyes went to pretty much immediately when you looked at it. And the focal point for this particular work of art is right here in the middle. All the lines lead to this focal point, and without even recognizing it, your eyes went right there when you saw this for the first time. So when we make this work of art, it's going to be a series of steps. This is a multi-class project. It's a pretty big project. So today is part one. I'm going to show you all the steps that we're going to go through for the first lesson that we have together. The second step will be our second class, and then the third step will be our third class. So I'm going to start with the beginning. I'm going to take a blank piece of paper, and what we're going to do is establish our focal point right away. You could have it anywhere on the paper. I'll put this focal point right up here, and I'm going to make a dot that I can see very clearly. Now, this is a smaller piece of paper, and we're going to make 5 circles on the paper. The circles need to be different sizes. The smallest circles will be closest to the focal point, because the focal point is the spot that looks like it goes way back into the distance. So if we put the smaller circles closer to the focal point, it'll look like those spheres are far away. As the circles get bigger, we're going to bring them out to the edges of the paper so it looks like they're coming right off the page. In fact, one of our circles we will have come off the page. Now, I use a compass for making circles here at school, but if you do not have a compass at home, no problem. We can use found objects in the house. I have all kinds of neat stuff on my desk, and I was looking around and all these circles are right there. So my smallest circle I'm going to put closest to the focal point, and I'm going to use this little salt shaker to make my smallest circle. There's one. Seasoned salt. I might have a little bit of a salt problem here, I don't know. Alright, I'm going to put this circle that's a little bit bigger further away. I found a small solo cup, and it's bigger, so I'm going to put this one even farther away. And I have yet a bigger plastic cup, and this one I'm going to put way over here, and I think I will have this one go off the page so it looks like it's coming right out towards us. Okay, so now I've established where my focal point is, and I have my 4 circles, the smallest circles closest to the focal point and the larger circles moving away from the focal point. The next thing I want to talk to you about is lines. This is where a little bit of geometry comes into this lesson. We're going to talk about perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines are intersecting lines. So they cannot be parallel lines, because parallel lines go on forever and ever and never intersect. Perpendicular lines intersect, and where they intersect, they make a perfect right angle. Like this, like a T or a cross. And these right angles are in each corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a perpendicular line that goes right through the focal point, but does not go through any circles. So I'm going to start by lining the ruler up and going straight up and down. The ruler is right on the focal point, so we want that line to go right through the middle. I'm holding the ruler firmly with my fingers so it doesn't shift, and I'm pressing down hard, and very gently with my pencil I'm going to make a line that goes right up to the edge of this circle, skips over it, and starts again. Now, to make it easy, I'm just going to rotate the paper so my hands don't have to change places and be in an awkward position. And I'm going to make my second line going through the focal point, just like this. Right through the focal point, stop at the edge of a circle, continue back, stop at the edge, stop at the... There we go. Now, a little more geometry. We've got our perpendicular lines that go right through the focal point very neatly. That's important. This will come very important later on. We've divided the paper into 4 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now each of these sections needs to be divided in half again. And we're going to do that by lining up our ruler to the focal point and the corner of the page in each of these sections. So this first section right here, I'm going to take my ruler, I'm going to line it up on the focal point and with the corner of the paper. And I'm going to carefully make a line that skips over any circles. We've got a little tiny tab right there. Now I've just divided that in half. I'm going to go rotate my paper to make it easy on myself. Line up with the focal point, the corner of the page. Now this is going rather quickly for us, but when we have our class with students, it takes a lot longer because a lot of people need assistance, which is why this phase of the project is phase 1, our first day. Now, if we did this properly and divided each of these 4 sections in half, we should have 8. Let's count. I'm going to hold my finger in one spot so I don't lose where I started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Now I need to divide each of these 8 sections in half one more time so I have 16 pieces of pizza. Right now I only have 8. So what I'm going to do is I will start in this section and work my way around neatly. And what I might do is make a little mark right down here, just a little light mark that I can erase so I know where I started. I'm going to put the ruler on the focal point, and you're just going to use your best judgment to see where the middle might be. Looks like it's somewhere in here. There's one. I'm going to rotate my paper, try to find the middle. We're starting right at that focal point very neatly. There we go. This one is a lot more narrow, but we're going to divide it in half just the same. Go here, 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 and here, and one more here. And I'm looking and I see my little mark, so I know to stop. Now, the only way to know if we did this right is to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 pieces of pizza. Alright, that concludes part 1 for this assignment. Next week we will move on to part 2, and then we'll start coloring after that. If you have any questions, feel free to call me. Remember, you want your lines to be nice and straight going to the focal point, and I would love to see your progress so far. Okay, manatees, good luck.